always throws me off when they say that. I'm like, what? Had I started it earlier? All right, second round. So I'm going to call this the evolution episode, where we are going to turn these monkeys into real humans.
Don't start that again.
I think there's a scene in Zoolander where the two models are like there's information that they need in the computer, and so they're like, it's in the computer, and so they start smashing it. I feel like that's what me trying to get the cameras to work was like. So I might be going through an ascension process myself right now. Okay, let's go. All right, so the nice thing about what we've got is that we've got all of the parts of the whole width of the face. So the keystone, the eyes, the brow ridge, and then the temples that are extremely foreshortened. So we don't have the eyes, we don't have the ears, but that's fine. And then I think what's going to happen is I just noticed this like this second, but if you look at, we've got the center of the keystone. Do you see how there's sort of an arch to the face? Look at this.
Yeah.
Most center lines have a straight line, but it's weird. Like it looks like this guy, it's got like a little curve to it. So I know I'm like playing with fire right now, but I think I'm going to put a little curve on his face, and I might be playing it up a little too much, but I think it's going to help place the lips, the arc of the lips, and then the chin and the angle of the nose. In the same way that this left side tear duct is lower than the right side, conveniently the left side nostril is also. So at least there's some consistency there. But if you look at the angle of the mouth, there's the kind of a play of the corner of the mouth, and there seems to be something moving. So the right lower lip is lower than the left lip. So and then the same thing on this side. So the upper lip on the left is higher than the one on the right. So the whole mouth is at a different angle than the nostrils and the eyes. So that is definitely a planar change. So anyway, so we got this center line. We're going to string it together, and we got to come down the basically the front of the nose. So you see, I've talked about the from the keystone to basically the ball of the nose, and he does have a big round schnoz. I mean, the ball of the nose is kind of like impressively spherical and large, and then the nostrils are kind of small. There was actually a mistake that we made yesterday. So what I'm trying to do is get from the keystone to the ball of the nose, as wide as it is, but we have to go through the true bridge of the nose. I mean, there's the keystone is sort of like the bridge of the brow, but then we have the bridge of the nose, and the nose starts with bone and it transitions into cartilage. And so there's usually an indication of that. Like the widest part is usually this little connection between cartilage and bone, where the tissue actually changes. That's usually the widest part. And then that's convex, so it swells outwards. And that is this is the top. And then there is the side thickness. So just like there's the keystone has a front plane and then two side planes, the top of the nose, this connection between bone and cartilage has the top portion, then also has a structural side plane, which I think is important. And then that is going to then transition into the tops of these cheeks, where you would put the eye black for, a sporting event or something. It's like the up plane of the cheeks. So keystone, and then the swelling of the bridge of the nose, and then the ball of the nose is wide. So there's this beautiful like play of concave, convex, concave. So you can make an argument that the keystone is concave, so they swell in. Then the bridge of the nose is convex, swells out, and then this transition from the bridge into the ball is then concave again, and you can actually see it right here it swells in. And even though it's not played up on the opposite side, I'm going to play it up on this opposite side so we can, constantly going left side, right side, left side, right side. And the nature of the side plane, usually conforms to it as well. So when I say conforms to it, I mean like this, the bridge of the nose here, the side plane of it is concave, it's convex rather, and then this swelling is concave in here before you get into the nostrils, which of course swell out again. So we're kind of anticipating the nostrils on this side and anticipating the nostrils on that side. Now, I say anticipating because we want to go through the middle. So we're going to go through the middle of the ball of the nose. And we've got this beautiful highlight that I'm just going to put a circle on there, which I don't know why it's there. It's actually kind of like, you would think it's on the other side because the left side is kind of where the light is coming from. So it's the left side, which is all this. I got to switch to a bolder yellow if I can. So the side plane of the bridge of the nose, the top, the angle of where the side plane of the nose meets the top plane, I made it red, which is kind of bad because it's not there. It's not red. And my yellow is not strong enough to cover up this line that I'm doing right here. But you can see that like the keystone, the bridge of the nose, and then the ball of the nose, it's all the same yellow. It's all that same value. Of course, there's some highlights on it too, whatever. But this is arguably the light side, and then this is the shadow side. He's using colors to help make that transition. So it's a brighter, lighter into a not necessarily a less neutral. I mean, that's a high intensity orange. It's a high intensity red. It's just those colors help transition and suggest a shadow, even though it's a very warm shadow. Okay, so we're going through the middle again, like I'm trying to say, and then we get to the ball of the nose, and then we're going to see the underplane. This is where it gets kind of fun, and we're starting to get into some of these, green tones. So I'm going to actually add a light green under here. So this is the bottom of the circle is this reflected light. So I haven't gotten to the like the black line yet. I'm just showing this reflected light towards the bottom, and now I could switch over and I can get oh my god, do I dare do a dark green? I think I'm too scared. I'm going to start with a gray. So we're going to do the septum, and it's a wide septum, and it's the kind of the combination of the bottom of the nose, and the septum's underneath there. He does have this big round schnoz. It's so funny. So we get the bottom of the nose, and then that's gonna almost seamlessly transition into the nostril hole. So that's pretty high on the right. And then there is a thickness to the bottom of the nostril. So I'm gonna add a little yellow, show the thickness of that. And then you get the bottom of the nostril flare. It's very cute. It's a nice nose. Let's see the other side. So we're going to get the septum, or the bottom of the ball of the nose, which is this dark tone. And then here there's a little bit more of a transition. So it's almost like the ball of the nose, ends, and then the nostril it's not seamless. So you have to put in the nostril hole, and then that's going to have, again, a thickness to it. So we're going to add a little donut rim around the nostril hole, and then we'll switch over again, and we'll get these like really gorgeous high intensity orange notes for the silhouetted edge of the nostril. Cool. Hopefully your yellow is able to show up. I mean, the yellow paint, there's kind of like nothing more brilliant than yellow paint. So even if, I can attempt to use the color pencil, it's not going to do the paint any justice. Paint is it's just yellow. Yellow paint might be the most beautiful thing. All right. I've never seen a clearer tie shape. So we're going from the, the nose into the lips. And I'm going to just sketch it out here because the philtrum is this space between the nose and the mouth, and you follow the middle plane, and it's like a little necktie. So you get this trough, you get this plane of the shadow plane, and you get the mirrored image of that plane on the right, and that is the philtrum. So left side shadow, right side light mass, and then the Cupid's bow. And this is the other reason one of the reasons I chose this. The girl who's in the actual portrait that I'm sketching, she has the same thing, which is this little skin ridge that's kind of above the lip, above the lip skin, I should say. But not philtrum. It's like this little border in between this philtrum here, which is actually it's like a mini gutter actually. It basically pushes, this mustache region, pushes whatever kind of debris or is coming out of the nose, and it angles it, like a trough down the side. I wish that my yellow would show up on the screen a little bit more. The mustache region is a beautiful plane, and it really needs consideration. And we oftentimes leave it, it's easy to think past. And it's usually kind of unsightly, actually. I mean, if I draw this plane over here in my green, look at this whole plane of this space between the nostril and the corner of the mouth. Then it's the whole, mustache region. He's obviously too young to have a mustache, but it's created by the edge of the philtrum, the bottom of the nose, the top of the lip, and then this little, the crease, which I think is the nasal labial fold. So this crease is really important, but this whole section of this upper lip region is defined by those, it's sort of like the sclera, if you think about it. The white of the eye, just in our example that we're working with here, the white of the eye is defined by the tear duct on this side, the lower eyelid, upper eyelid, and then the edge of the iris. So the sclera doesn't kind of define itself. Its edges are defined by other forms. And it's the same thing with this mustache region. All right, cool. So I don't know if I've ever, really expressed how important that shape is in, the human body, and then specifically in portraits. I guess I have now. All right, so there's that crease. Let's get back to the lips. His lips are like really interesting. There's almost like the classic smile. So I drew Cupid's bow, and Cupid's bow is kind of pointing down and to the left. So as the face curves this way, Cupid's bow kind of angles down and to the left. And where the lips are touching is usually the darkest part. And when I say like the classic smile, I mean, look at that, like this curve. It's just, it feels like where the lips are touching, it feels so much like a regular smile. And then it gets cropped, it gets cut off, obviously. So you have the top of the eye, the top of the lip on the left that goes into what should be a teardrop corner of the mouth. I guess there is a little teeny teardrop, but the colors are different. And then, the other side of Cupid's bow angles down, and then we get the teardrop corner of the mouth on the right side. So that's how our upper lip is kind of defined. And then this lower lip is super wild. So I'm going to, the right side of the lower lip dips down incredibly low. It's almost like he's a side shooter. It looks like he's like shooting words out the right side of his face. And it could be an effect because of the colors. Maybe this the pink over here is calling a lot of attention, and the highlights on that lower lip and the yellow specifically. If this gray goes in here, it's a blender. Remember last week I had trouble finding my white chalk pencil?
Mhm.
There it is. And I was like, I gotta put it someplace where I'll never lose it again. So I did. The white chalk pencil, I'm trying to get it in this lower lip, but I should have laid that down first. The color pencils are waxy. The white chalk pencil is more pigment, so I can make it show up if there's no other pencils down there. So I might even put that in the sclera right now. I don't want to do too much coloring. I just need a place where I can see if the pencil, the white chalk shows up. It does show up a little bit. I put the yellow down first in the lips, so there's no getting around that. You can also tell in my drawing, because I got so excited about the parts of the anatomy, my nose has more structure and it's bigger. So as soon as you make the nose longer and the whole face gets longer, he'll become older. And he's aged, by, I'd say like 10, 15 years, just because of the proportions of this face. What makes him young is how big the eyes are, and how short the distance is from the eyes to the nose. And then, of course, how weak and underdeveloped the chin is, almost feminine. And it's not. That's what's so neat about this, is that it's not feminine. It's just adolescent. So it's underdeveloped, but it's still not. It's still not feminine, which is kind of interesting. It's a masculine jaw that's smaller. So take that to think about that as we're doing this, and it's just there's no coming back from it, but it's still it's still the way that it is. So I actually have to move my paper up because I made that nose so big. And on top of it, even though I have adjusted the settings on to make my face look more attractive on the Photoshop, it's not going to make my nose any smaller. So by putting you tend to put your own characteristics into your drawings. So the fact that he's got a big nose, it's not that uncharacteristic for my sketches. Okay, so I'm also noticing this beautiful play off of the size of his nose, the ball of the nose, and then the shape of the chin. The chin is shifted over to the right. That's part of where this center line curve was derived from, and it is really true. As the mouth, excuse me, as the mouth kind of looks to the left, the chin, excuse me, is moved over to the right. Thank you. Thank you, Maureen. And I'm wondering, yes, I'm seeing a sphere, but I'm also seeing a hexagon. So stick with me. Tell me if you see this. We're going to get the space, this little gentle space between where the lip ends, the space between the lip and the top of the chin. So here's this chin, and I am seeing a hexagon. So there's the top, and then the bottom, and then the angle to the right, and then it cuts back in. Do you see that little hexagon there?
Yeah.
The hexagon makes a lot more sense. And, if you follow our center line, it really does, the curve really does go through the middle of that hexagon there. All right, I love that. Van Gogh is he's just not afraid of the silhouette. So I'm almost anticipating there's a thick line, a thick brushstroke that separates the face, from everything else. And, so I drew my little hexagon, but now I have to, draw the border, which is this silhouette line. And then that will, kind of conclude the forms from the center of the face, from the eyes all the way down to the chin. And now we have this like sea of secondary features, which is going to be the bottom of the eye socket, or the top of the cheek, however you want to see it. This little gutter that happens from the tear duct that leads down. We have the side of the nose, which leads down the bottom of the gutter, the labial fold, and then the tear duct line. We have the cheeks, which are going to be curvy and youthful, and then we're going to have this straight line of the jaw, which is small but masculine. So how are we going to get all of these areas? Well, we have to link up the side of the face, and the ears all the way down to the chin. And I'm gonna probably have to zoom out from there in order to do that. There's another part of me that wants to go for this free answer. As we came down through the middle of the face and hit this chin, we should kind of get this free answer of the brow ridge. So we got to conclude the frame, basically by drawing the bottom of the hat. We have to if we can establish the parameters of our face, then that'll be like a real accomplishment. The face almost like a mask. So we've got the relationship between eyes, nose, mouth, and chin. And now I think I'm going to zoom out and finish framing it out. We've got the left side of the face, the right side of the face at the very bottom. Now we need to do the top and then get the the contour silhouetted edge of the face. You can really see how old he is now. How much older my guy is than his. But it's okay. I might be able to make some adjustments. All right. So, and I remember from the very beginning, I was like, I think I made the brow ridge, the bone structure of the brow ridge too large as well. So that's going to make him look older too. So cool. It's just so interesting to me how those little subtle distortions, age a person so quickly. All right. So I might switch to my green. I really liked this little light green moment that I had down here. It's kind of neutral enough to sketch with, and there's so much green, underpinning this face that I think my oranges and reds will be able to, dominate the green. So I think I'm gonna switch over to that because it feels good. All right. So above the eyebrow, you're going to have this little transition zone. It's its own kind of plane, and I think it's two things. It's muscles, and it's also a little concavity. Your eyebrow ridges swell out, and then your occipital bone. So the whole forehead is like an egg shape, and so it's this transition from the brow ridge to basically your frontal lobe protector, which is it's called the parietal eminence. It's your forehead, and behind that is your frontal lobe. So we have this transition from the brow ridge into the forehead, and then the forehead turns to the side, and then goes into your temples. Is it showing up? It's not really showing up. All right, I'll switch over. Well, actually, it doesn't have to show up that much. You have to see that there is this little space above the brows, and then this little arch that's right here, and that's the bottom of the parietal eminence. So now I can switch over, and I gotta just estimate with these two moments that I just talked about, this transition from eyebrow into forehead and the bottom of the forehead, where is the hat? And that's what I need to put in there. I'm going to err on making the forehead too big at first, because this dark blue, look at where the overlap happens. It's directly above, the iris, the right side of the iris. Oh, Bellas. All right, so this is our our framing happens by the hat, not by anatomy. Great. Good upstairs, Bella. I might switch to a darker green even. We have certainly earned this silhouette. So we have our temples, and then we have the beginning of the sideburns, which are up so high. Look how high this triangle is. See that triangle? That is the sideburns. It's the base of the triangle is even higher than the eyebrow. Incredible. So there's the skin and the sideburn transition on the inside, and the sideburn ends and the ear is behind that. The top of that triangle is defined by the hat. All right, so now we're just going to travel down the side of the face and see if we can name the stuff going down. So we have the zygomatic arch with the swelling of the cheeks. We have our transition from the cheeks into the jaw. And the jaw creates an elbow. And then we get almost a concavity swelling into our chin. Now, that is a beautiful track of mark making. All right, sorry, Bellas. All right, I'm gonna do this. Let me do the other side, and then I gotta let the dog out. She's crying. Corner of the eye, zygomat. It goes all the way up here. I cannot believe how high these sideburns are. This is the game changer. This little wedge of the sideburns here, up so high. And that makes his face looks like it's tilted so much further. Zygomatic arch, cheekbone hitting the elbow, and then this very strong S-curve vector, which frames out our face. Wow, my guy is so not cute. The Van Gogh's guy is such a nice looking kid, and mine looks like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'll be back. Come on, Bella, let's go. Oh, Mr. Bales, you too, bud.
Very pointy chin.
Very. Yeah.
It
I've
looks,
had to redo his little jaw so many times.
yeah. Because I don't believe that it's as pointy as he makes it. And then I keep having to
No.
make it pointier.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to look at it upside down to see what is odd about it. Oh, the ears.
Look how his drawing has the boy looking straight ahead. I wonder how you make him look down like that.
I know. Mine is not looking down. I think the upper eyelid has to come further down on the
Yeah.
iris.
Yep, I agree. I finally got mine to kind of look down,
Oh, good.
but I'm doing all graphite. I'm not doing it colored pencils, so.
Yeah, the eyes have to get a little more hooded.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
His ears are kind of Spock-like, aren't they?
They sure.
I don't think he has earlobes. You know, some
Yeah.
people don't have a hanging earlobe.
It looks like an earlobe on that left side a little bit, but man,
Yeah.
that one on the right looks like a Spock.
Yeah.
He's so funny. Thank you.
It's the corner.
Yeah, he does the corners. He likes his crates. I guess corners feel like crates.
Mm.
Mine definitely looks older. How do you make that very young look?
Yeah, that's tough.
I think it's in the
It's
width.
interesting to discover that if you make the face shorter, it looks pudgier and younger.
Yeah, their eyes and nose and mouth are supposed to be closer together.
Yeah.
So
Boy,
if
that
it's
nose he drew is really beautiful, but it's not the nose of the little boy.
No, I agree.
Oh gosh, look how big the chin is too. My bad.
we were trying to figure out what are the lines that need to be adjusted to make him look younger. Is it the width of the face or the length of the face?
Yeah, it's the well, that helped already. I just see how much chin I took off there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's It's the distance between, let me see if I can, they have diagrams. So if you have like, regular sized person's head, and then you have, these are the same ovals. So they're about the same size or whatever, close to it. If you put eyes, nose, mouth, ears, oh yeah, it's not right. Versus eyes, nose, mouth, ears.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like a little baby, and this is an old man.
Yeah.
So it has to do with, this is the middle, this is the middle. So everything is like, it's like this triangle versus this triangle. They're just it's way smaller. It's all contained down at the bottom.
Interesting.
The head, and the heads are, and the eyes, it's the other crazy part, is that the eyes aren't that different in size. So like the babies seem like they have really big eyes, and they do have big eyes compared to their nose and their mouth, and then like sometimes they even have big cheeks, but all these other features are super small. So that's the so this distance between here and here, the nostril and the tear duct, that's big. And then I think the subtlety, the same way that the jawbone, gets bigger and gets more developed, and less subtle the older you get. I mean, you never notice like bones in the face of kids. And the fact that like this nose, that I defined the bridge of the nose and, the bone structure in the nose, that also aged the boy. So it's the proportions and it's the definition.
Trevor, I hate to do this, but I have to go.
Yeah, that's okay. I know.
going out of
I
time.
apologize. I think I'm going to give everybody a free class because that was not good.
All right. Well, I wouldn't worry about that, but I appreciate this. This was fun. I did not do colored pencils.
Well, can we see? Can I see it?
Well, it's not finished, but I'll
No,
show
I
you what
know.
I've got.
Not even close. Oh, you got his hat in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got him looking like he looks like a boy.
Oh yeah.
Does he look like a
Oh
boy?
my gosh.
Yeah,
He looks
very
like a
much.
little imp.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thanks.
It
I
is
do
nice.
have him looking down though. I was happy about that.
Yeah, he's got the right angle, he's got the right age, all that stuff.
Okay.
And it looks like a boy too, not like not like a little girl too, which is
Okay.
it's subtle. It's so subtle.
Oh, so many little-
can we see this?
You just
We
make
show
a
we
little-
show it one more time,
Sure.
but just hold it still a little bit.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
My camera is not the best.
Does he look like any of your kids?
Ah,
And you know what I mean? I'm being serious. Like,
yeah, no, maybe my son when he was this age, but
yeah, that's what I mean. That looks great. Mr. Bales, you want to go downstairs?
You look so sweet and innocent.
we were talking about his ears though, Trevor. Look at those. Those are funky looking Spock ears,
They are Spocky. They're Spocky-esque.
But he's still really cute. I actually have him looking the wrong direction, I think. I have him looking one way and the picture looks like it's going the other, but
Let's see. Adele, I've got you pinned up here. So I think we should just call it a day. It was a rough road.
Oh god.
oh yeah. I love the gray paper. That's very good.
Yeah.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. Very
Beautiful.
handsome.
He looks
Yeah,
like
and
a ghost.
Looks like a what?
He looks like a little ghost.
He does look like a
Because
guy.
my marks
Well,
are
but
so faint.
It's not finished.
slowly like ethereally emerging from the
Yeah.
paper. All right, Grace, let's see yours. So yeah, today was not a waste. Okay, that's good.
Not at all.
Well, we just kept drawing when you were running around and
I'm glad.
flipped off.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm
Woo!
yeah. I mean, I had an off day, but you guys had an on day, so that's good. That's great, Grace.
That's good, Grace.
That's gonna happen too. I mean, he's emerging out of the gray.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
how
the
do
colors
you
are
make
gonna
him look a little younger? He still looks rather
I
old.
would take if you could do it so easily if you
Take off
just
some chin.
just reduce that chin, reduce the space
really?
between the lip and the top of the chin, and then make the whole chin smaller. I mean,
Oh,
he
okay.
still looks like, I mean, he still looks young. Like he just looks like he has a big jaw for being young.
Okay.
But it's interesting that it's not. Kids have proportions in all different sizes. So like, you can have kids that are the same age that have different sizes chins. So it's not
Oh
like
my
it doesn't like he doesn't read properly, which is nice.
Right away, that chin made a difference.
Let's see.
But
I did not remove the lower chin, but I made a new line on the upper chin.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I have to erase, but I think I could take it up even more.
mhm.
Gotta go, you guys.
Okay,
Good
see
to
you, Marie.
Bye, Rini.
See you
Bye,
next week.
Renee. Take
Okay,
care.
bye-bye. Thanks, Trevor.
Sure. Stace, can we see yours?
Sure.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Um, Mine was a lesson in patience and tolerance, but
Oh,
Oh,
Wow,
how cute.
I love the eyes.
that's
Look
a
at that.
word.
That he's
Good word.
really looking down.
yeah,
He's got
Yeah.
his lips are independently beautiful too, and the nose is more handsome as well. Yeah, that's
thanks.
good.
It's lovely.
Great,
to look
Stace.
Thanks. It was my first time with colored pencils.
Well, with
Wow.
a
My
new set.
Very
prismatic colored pencils, which
Stace, you got a
were,
new set of color pencils.
yeah,
Watch
that
out.
was fun.
Watch out. Oh, all right, y'all. Well, it's
Alrighty.
11:59. I'm glad you guys crushed it. I guess.
Thank you.
Trevor, thank you so
Um,
much.
I did my best. I did my best.
That was great. It worked out just
Yeah.
everything.
All right, y'all.
Yeah,
I'll see you next
yes.
week. then.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank
Oh,
you.
text if you guys work on these, or text me any state of these drawings. I'd love to see them.
Everybody
It's a
have a
lot of
great
work.
week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, y'all.